folks, Dumac the Artist coming at you once again from a hidden bunker deep within the bowels of the city. And today I happen to have found a rather interesting article on Mediaite.com. I'll post a link down below in the crotch bar. Essentially, it's about Rick Santorum making several statements regarding higher education, and they basically speak for themselves. In the article, it reads, Rick Santorum apparently has a problem with higher education. The one-time presidential hopeful said that America's colleges are indoctrinating young people by promoting a sea of antagonism towards Christianity. Abortion, gay marriage, pornography, Santorum said, are all symptoms of the fundamental issue that we've gotten away from the truth and the truth giver. Now, again, we have to reiterate for Mr. Santorum, who apparently is completely ignorant of American history, that the United States has never, in any sense of the word, been a Christian nation. It has never been a religious nation. Okay, it's been a religious nation, but that religion part of our history has usually geared towards tolerance as opposed to favoring one denomination or another. Next, Mr. Santorum obviously believes that we all seem to agree and believe in the same God he does, which is not necessarily the case. Even in his own religion, there are like several sects and offshoots and groupings of whatever form of Christianity Mr. Santorum supposedly espouses. I think it's Catholic or some nonsense like that. But the fact of the matter is, America has never, in any sense of the word, been a godly nation. Especially if you take a look at the issues like slavery, if you take a look at the way we've treated the Native Americans, if you look at the way we've treated women, we've treated blacks, we've treated even poor whites. We have been a dismal example as to how a Christian nation should behave. Unless, of course, you have a very low standard as to what constitutes Christian behavior. But I digress. Let's move right along. Speaking about the 40th anniversary of the landmark decision in Roe v. Wade, Santorum and told radio host Tony Perkins he agreed with the idea that pro-choice Americans are part of a troubled nation. If you look at the culture and what comes out of Hollywood, Rick Santorum is saying here, if you go to our schools and particularly our colleges and universities, they are indoctrinated in a sea of relativism and a sea of antagonism towards Christianity. Now, once again, Mr. Santorum, the purpose of a college or a university is to teach something called critical thinking. Learning how to do your own research and coming to your own conclusions. Now, if the United States was a Christian nation, things like colleges and universities would most likely not exist, or they would be places where you can be further indoctrinated in the Christian religion, which does not rely on things like research and evidence to substantiate their claims. You're just supposed to take the religion at face value and take everything on faith. Don't look towards reason, don't look towards facts that may disprove what it is you're trying to believe. Just embrace it no matter what, and that's it. Now, the antagonism, as you see it towards Christianity, is not so much towards the Christian religion in and of itself, or even the teachings of Jesus, which by and large are pretty harmless and actually, to some degree, beneficial. The problem lies with people like Mr. Santorum, who insist on taking the teachings of Jesus and corrupting them to fit his nationalistic ideology, which has absolutely nothing to do with Christianity as we see it, as it should be. Jesus taught that we are to look after the poor and the fatherless and the widow, whereas Rick Santorum favors the rich no matter what. He's a corporate whore. So, of course, he's not going to pay attention to the teachings that Jesus gave as far as looking after the fatherless and the widow, which is why he does not support programs which help those people. If you also take a look at Mr. Santorum's stance, he is pro-life, but only up to the point where the child leaves the womb, in which case you're pretty much on your own and you're screwed. As far as Rick Santorum is concerned, while I believe he is firmly a fundamentalist, ideological Christian, he absolutely has no idea what the teachings of Jesus are all about. And this antagonism that he's finding is not so much towards Christianity as Jesus taught it, but the perverse mockery of the teachings of Christ that Christianity has become. Anyway, those are my thoughts. This is Dumac the Artist signing off. Slanchini Falcha. Have a nice day.